So yeah,
The
going to the
Kings
Kings,
are
man. They're looking the same like in Chicago. What's up with that? They already know
they want to compete.
DeRozan and this guy does not even work well.
Yeah, they want to stay competitive as kind of Sabonis' contract continues to run.
Man, they found a good way to avoid putting DeRozan on the bench. I'll tell you that. They found a good way to avoid that conversation.
Yeah, 100%. I think the Kings, they could be an interesting team. You know, obviously Sabonis, he works well with. I think he could work well with LaVine. I think. I don't know. I think offensively they'll be a good, fun team. Defense is where my concern is. Is who the fuck is gonna guard the opposing player on that team beside Keegan Murray?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Just looking at Sacramento's picks, they're eventually gonna get rid of most of these guys. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I think they have a long contract with Sabonis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're better off kind of trying to ride it out with him for however many years you have him, and then go on a full rebuild. Because my opinion on Sacramento has always been consistent. Is man, you suck at you're never gonna be a championship team because you're like too incompetent. You're also never know how you don't know how to draft. Like bro, let's like Sacramento missed out on a lot of players in their draft. You know, I remember Willie Cauley Stein was a bad draft pick. I remember Marvin Bagley was a bad draft pick. Um, Jimmer Fredette. There's a lot of examples you could really think of where the Sacramento Kings shot themselves in the foot. So I'm not gonna act like they're a team that's really gonna rebuild themselves and turn into contenders. Fuck no. You might as well try to be as mediocre as possible. And
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, they're set. They have draft picks from this year up until 2030, man. Like they own everything. So, but they're
yeah,
stuck in the middle. They're stuck in that purgatory, just being good enough, but not good enough to pick so high. I don't
that's a
know.
win for Sacramento, man. That's a win. Because like I said, when your team is as trash as the Kings, you take whatever win you could find.
And the craziest thing is that they're not really close to being, hitting that first apron, but they do got some salaries on their books.
Yeah, they got Levine's on a big contract, obviously. Sabonis on a big contract. You have, I think Murray got extended yet, or he might have already.
Now, Murray's on his rookie scale contract. It finishes
Yeah,
next October. They're gonna have a choice to give him his extension early, or he's gonna hit restricted free agency in 2026. And
yeah,
also at the same time, DeMar DeRozan that same year, his contract is not fully guaranteed for 25 million.
yeah.
So I mean, they're gonna have some flexibility, but like you said, they're gonna have to execute on their draft picks. And who knows, maybe a contending team might need like DeMar DeRozan as like a role player, as a piece. They might have the ability to finesse that and trade away some of these guys and get like a late first round pick. Who knows?
Because I think they kind of a lot of people said, "Oh, this is a bad trade." It's a C-level trade. Like it isn't anything great, but it isn't anything like I frown upon.
Yeah, the thing is, even for the San Antonio Spurs, for them on their side, of course they got Fox, but the thing is that because they have Wemby and then they have the basketball minds around, the organization, you can see that they're gonna execute outside of this trade. But when it comes to the
Yeah,
Kings, we just see like it's so surface level. It's like if the Kings don't get good pieces, we're not confident enough in them to actually put their basketball minds together and execute
yeah.
on something to make sure that this is good going forward. I think that's really the only difference in this trade. Because it's not like De'Aaron Fox himself is going to elevate the Spurs to a whole nother level. It's the combination of his skills, Wemby, and just the pieces they already, kind of put around the Steven Castles, the vessels, getting Chris Paul out there to kind of mold
Harrison
everybody.
Barnes.
You can see the culture, but the Kings, it's almost like the Kings just have next best available. Zach
You
LaVine,
know,
DeMar DeRozan. You know what I mean? Like this shit has not already worked out in Chi-Town.
but I'm gonna be honest. It's probably like their best approach thus far.
For now, I mean, I gotta see how they're gonna maneuver this because who knows, man?
We're talking about a poverty franchise, man. Like,
Yeah, but they still have room to finesse because DeRozan is in a favorable deal. His money stays the same, but the cap goes up and it's expiring. So they may
Yeah.
be able to leverage that and get a late first round pick for that to a contending team. Like you never know. Like let's say next season the Lakers are competing on a high level. Let's say with Luka. Let's just say, right? And then they need like another player just to come off the bench, give them an extra 10-point spark. DeRozan could look appealing. DeRozan
Yeah,
could look
if he
appealing for them.
continues his level to play, like being a solid role player, high end role player, 100%.
Yeah, because DeRozan by that time he's gonna be 36, 37. So it's not like he's gonna come in. I have to start. Even right now, DeRozan's role is just, I think he's kind of
He's third or fourth option at this point.
yeah, but you know what? Sacramento does not have the gravitas to tell DeRozan come off the bench. They're just not that type of franchise. Like he could say,
Yeah, of course.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, you guys aren't winning shit without me. You guys wanted me here. I'm
Yeah.
your biggest free agency forever.
Yeah, they just don't have the breathing room to tell them. They just don't have the history, man, the pedigree. With DeRozan, he kind of gave a little insight to his feelings after De'Aaron Fox got traded, and my man doesn't sound too ecstatic.
Yeah, it's tough because looking at the landscape before I came here, the guys I talked to was Fox, Domas, and Malik. Those are the core guys that made it easy for me to make my decision to play here. And a key player, juggernaut, and Fox. Not knowing the future of that, it does make it tougher. I don't have much time left. I'm not trying to play another 5 years. Try to maximize the opportunity we have now to play with a great team. You never know when dominoes fall the wrong way. When it comes to organization, it makes it tough. So it's something that we just got to weigh out and see, and for the meantime, make the most out of it. So we'll see how it pan out.
Like you said, man, before with Sabonis and everyone, it's almost like they're just kind of winging it, and like you said, at the end of it, they're making the most out of it.
That's all they can do.
Damn, that sounds like Sacramento ever since they had the what is it? Light the beam season.
Yeah.
It's just
there's been kind of a decline. It was never a build up. The front office's ownership, they always kind of took a reactionary position, firing coaches. The Kings have a history of that. So for the Sacramento Kings, it's probably best to try to keep afloat and try to be a semi-playoff, like a playoff border tier team. That's their gamble now. I think that's peak Sacramento for them. I'm not going to treat them like the Lakers or Celtics. I think that's the best approach until they figure shit out.
Like I said, with DeRozan, it's like a conundrum because what can the Kings really tell him? They just don't have the pedigree to tell him to come off the bench, because in reality, that is what it is.
They don't, and I think they're bringing him a lot of familiar faces because him and LaVine have rich history, and him and Valanciunas have rich history. So they're kind of in some ways, I could say they're kind of catering to him too.
Yeah, they are.
And they're catering with Sabonis too, because obviously they're bringing in a backup big who can eat a lot of Sabonis minutes, and he could play a lot of the floor. And obviously, DeMar and Valanciunas have history playing together and making runs in the playoffs.